Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today I want to create a bowl and I'm using here the Cascade Pepple tray mold from MoldsandShapes and it's the L size. I mixed already some resin and I mixed the Arctic Blue pearlescent mica from Etta Art and also the light coral, also pearlescent mica from Etta Art. I'm using a thin resin. And I have here my Inuki. This is an alcohol ink, a white alcohol ink from Octopus. And I wanted to achieve a sort of crushed ice or Larima effect, but it didn't turn out like this. This is what I can already tell you, but I'm still very, very happy with the result. So what I intended to pour didn't turn out, but the result, I think personally, it's still stunning. So I have here also my clear resin and I will fill up a little bit later in an extra container, but I will start pouring my white into the mold. Just taking my time, I'm pouring quite slowly so that I avoid to have many air bubbles, even though it's a thin resin and thin resins normally don't have much air bubbles, but still I don't really pour very fast. I just let the resin slowly move into the first cascade of this mold so it can run completely and fill the bottom. I just love playing around with different techniques and using different pigments just to see what can be the outcome, what can be the result, can I achieve something different from the design, and yeah, that's what I love to do. At that moment I didn't know how to pour my colors, so this is now when I put a little bit of the clear resin separately in a container, just taking here my paper cup, and this will be for my little push in the center later. But then I thought I just do a dirty pour and I start with the Arctic Blue and then I'm altering together with the light coral color, and like I said, I'm altering the colors into my jar. Maybe I could have used a little bit less blue, but I decided to pour like this just all in a sudden, you know, after thinking for a while, and then I decided to pour like this. It was not really planned. Sometimes it just happens to me that I think, oh, you could pour this a little bit different. So I'm still altering my colors and I'm very curious about the outcome later. But it's already nice color blending. And I hope I can see a little bit of the light coral color in the final result. Anyway, now I'm taking my jar and I just pour my colors into the mold. I just love working with mica powders. I think, you know, you have so much variety of colors and you also don't have the risk like you have with alcohol inks that the colors fade away. They just stay how they are and they have such a nice sheen, and that's why I love to work with mica powders. I always loved working with them. So my pour is in the mold. Now I'm taking my clear resin and mainly I use this not for having extra effects, but to to make sure I know where my center is so I can pour later on my little stones into the center. My mold is pretty full, so it's really up to the rim and even a little bit doming. And here are my stones, and they are these stones I love to use. They have a little bit of a pearl sheen to it, and I think they always give a very natural, a very organic design. That's what I'm thinking, and sometimes I prefer it to glitter. Of course, for some pours glitter matches perfectly, but I'm someone who really likes the organic effects and the organic design. So now I'm just spreading a little bit the stones that they don't lie like a big blob. And I'm very curious how the resin will move, what effect I can achieve on the other side. Like I said, I wanted to achieve something like a crushed ice Larimar effect. But yeah, I can already tell you something else happened and I didn't achieve what I intended to achieve. But it doesn't matter as long, you know, as the design is really nice, what comes out. And it's a final result that's counting and not what you maybe intended to pour. So just a quick torch. And here, like I always say, always be careful using the torch, not to burn your mold or your resin. And yeah, I'm just spreading a little bit the stones. And then very soon I can already, I can show you a time lapse so you can see what the resin is doing, how the resin is moving. And you see there's coming a little hole at the side. I don't know why. I don't know what caused the hole. But it's just funny to see. And you can also see the edges. And at the edges, everything looks like pearl. It's, yeah, so funny to see. And I was really curious for the demolding. And you see also here the resin even moved more. And now I'm quite curious how the other side is looking. So yeah, I think it was maybe 18 hours after pouring, but look at this. Look at this crackle effect. And it's, for me, it looks like a ghost crackle effect because it's not so divine like I have sometimes with my crackle effect that you really see straight lines. It looks really puffy, and because of that color blending, it even looks like I used interference colors, but I didn't. And I'm really surprised and positively surprised about the effect, even though it's not the crushed ice or Larimar effect. But I love it. It looks very natural and it matches perfectly this mold. So I decided to make a bowl, and my resin piece was already quite hard, but still bendable. But I can still press it into this bowl, so I have a very flat bowl, which looks like 70s style, especially with the shape of this design, of the Pepple design. And yeah, this is what I wanted to do, and I can still press it in. It was still hard, but yeah, like I said, I wanted a flat bowl and I wanted to have it like 70s style. Anyway, there's now coming the final result, and you see the color blending. Unfortunately, from the coral color, it's not much left, but I just love it. I love the outcome. And yeah, I wonder what you think, and I wonder if I can inspire you with this pour. But yeah, with this, I'll leave you, like always. I thank you for watching and take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.